Hi, my name is Darren from HJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we want to approach it a bit differently. Rather than just get into a really deep technical discussion about some tax topics, I want to recognize that the tax tail doesn't necessarily wag the dog. And we have the honor and the privilege of having a conversation with David. And David has a lot of expertise with working with business owners who are doing things internationally. David, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is David Deaton. I'm a co-founder with my colleague Ann Thompson, and we have started MindSalt 8 more years ago. Over the last 30 years, I've been working with organizations on the research and decision making and strategy within a variety of different contexts and sizes. So both internationally, for which I have some experience in, but then also in just a variety of sizes of organizations as well. $3 billion revenue organizations down to our local businesses, for which we have a lot of passion and heart for.
Okay, fantastic. Another question I have for you. Can you talk about some of the key things to consider, having gone through it yourself and perhaps guided clients similarly, moving from that large corporation
Yeah.
to your own startup and creating your own business, creating value for yourself?
For sure. Let me just also state that I love it. I started working with an organization that was a Fortune 100 or sort of status and 30,000 plus employees and great experiences and great training and wonderful. And then I worked for more of a medium-sized organization. There's about 500 people. And now there's my partner and I, we have about 5 people that support us. We love being sort of a small organization. I think at every step, getting more entrepreneurial, smaller, if you will, but just more entrepreneurial it's just been a blessing the whole way through. I think that for all of the virtues and advantages that larger organizations offer, there's two challenges that sort of I've been sort of relished the opportunity to enjoy not being as much part of. The first is bureaucracy, and then the second is sort of impact, or income statement, if you will. But on the bureaucracy side, there's a great Harvard Business Review article. It came out probably 20 years ago, I think it was when I read it. And I've been working for over 30 years now. So sometimes I have to pull from a couple of decades ago from the articles. But this article talked about sort of that they were able to research and measure the value of organizations by the quality of middle management. And because they're being pulled from all dimensions, they have to answer to executives, they have to have people underneath them, they have peers. So your quality of middle management. And I see that and I get that. And I think that resonates and makes sense. And I would advise large organizations to make sure you're investing in your middle managers because there's research out there that suggests that's where your dollar should be spent. What it also means is that you're essentially investing in bureaucracy. The individuals that are able to navigate through large organizations and move things forward amongst people underneath them, the peers around them, and the executives who are demanding things, they're going to be the ones that are successful. And they're actually going to be successful at moving the organization. And so what we see is individuals going from large organizations to small organizations is that they bring all of that sort of bureaucratic know-how and they're very, very effective at it. They're very good at sort of moving these things forward, but it's not needed. It's not needed in small organizations. There isn't those layers that have to be sort of mobilized in the same way. And that investment in bureaucracy is something that I think is great. We would encourage larger organizations to make sure that they have that strong middle management. For ourselves, we're glad that that distance between is not present because it can either be value creating or value destructive, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're moving your organization forward. I think that that's part of it. I think also the work we're doing right now is incredibly impactful. Our focus and our mission, we have these pillars that we work on, is around how do we create enduring organizations. We want organizations to be strong into the future after we've worked with them, and that is incredibly fulfilling. And sometimes with large organizations, you see your one piece, but you don't see the full picture. If you will, you don't see the full income statement. I had a individual who worked for a large global bank, and they went out on their own to a totally separate thing. And they said, I never want to be that far away from the income statement again. And what they're saying in financial terms is, how do we create revenue and how do I manage the organization's cost to deliver that? And if I'm too far away from any of that whole picture, it just feels like you're just one small piece. And I get that. And I think shedding the bureaucracy and being closer to impact has just been a wonderful, fulfilling part of our entrepreneurial journey. And I think is probably present in organizations that are smaller and nimble.
Absolutely. And that perhaps ties back to some of the points we were discussing earlier about being a global citizen and distributed workforce. Now you can leverage the internet in a way to reach out to customers or to find team members to deliver on a project in a way that was only previously possible by being a part of a large organization. So there was no choice in the past.
Right.
But now, because of the internet, there are options, right? We have a great time.
For sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So, David, if someone wanted to reach out to you and to find out more about you and your team and perhaps engage your services, what's the best way to do that? How can they best find you?
Yeah, wonderful. Both through our website and LinkedIn. So the website would be themindsalt.com. I'm happy to reach out. You can actually set up a meeting straight from the website as well. Or LinkedIn, just find my name, David Deaton, with the organization, The Mind Salt. We have a company page, I have my personal page, and respond to messages and really look forward to people making that connection and reaching out.
Fantastic. Thank you.